Matthew 7:3. Ti de blepes ta karphos ta into ophthalmo tu adelphusu, tain de into so ophthalmo dakon u katanaes. Here Jesus continues to condemn and teach against having a judgmental spirit. He's clarifying what he meant by do not judge earlier. Clearly, Jesus does not mean to not have discernment or judgment about what is right or wrong, or even Jesus is certainly not condemning or forbidding you to clarify what is right and wrong in public or in private, but he's condemning a judgmental, hypocritical spirit. Here he says, and why? Notice he's shifted to the second person singular in appointed application. And why are you looking at the speck, right? The mote, if we use Old English, the speck. And what kind of speck? He could have said this kind of speck or that kind of speck, but he uses this article here, neuter singular article. It's going to hook all of this right here. What kind of speck? It's the in the eye of your brother speck. Why do you look at the speck in the eye? Right? In the eye of your brother. Why do you look at that speck in the eye of your brother? But the beam, the timber of wood, the large piece of wood in your eye, notice how that in your eye is in the attributive position there. We just drop it in like we would an adjective. We could have said the oak beam or the walnut beam, but we're saying the in your eye beam. That word dakon may be throwing you off a little bit with the article there, but just like we have hey hodos for the way, we have hey dokos for the beam of wood, a large piece of wood. In America, we might call it a 2x4, right? Which is 2 inches by 4 inches, 4 inch and very long. It's so a beam of wood that would be used in building a house, something like that. But the beam of wood in your eye, you're not noticing? Question mark. This last word katanaes is from kata naeo, to notice, to perceive, to take note of. And we have we notice it's an epsilon contract verb, and we add the regular ending ace, and those combined there. We see that marked by the circumflex. You're not noticing the beam in your own eye. I do want to point out one final thing. I want to point out the beautiful chiastic structure here in the original. So notice how we have verbs of perceiving. We have blepes and katanais, and then we move one further in. We have the item that is in the eye, the karphos or the dakon, and then we have the word for eye. We have ophthalmon, ophthalmo. So notice that it's just moving from the inside at the same rate, and then in the center we have the word for brother, right? Brother. So just again, I'll say that's A. That corresponds to A here. B corresponds to B here. C corresponds to C here. And then in the center of the chiasm, that structure is called the chiasm, we have the word for brother.